Hello everyone, my name is Natalie Verby, and today we will be talking about Instagram for artists. And it is a really interesting concept to think about Instagram as a platform designed specifically for artists to allow them to share things about their creative process. When you're an artist, you're trying to get more people to follow you, get people to like your stuff so that you're seen by more people. And at the same time, if you're running a store or having commissions open, you want more people to buy your stuff. And Instagram can be really used as a platform designed specifically for that. If you don't have Instagram and you're an artist, first thing, you really have to get Instagram. It's really easy to open a new account and to set it up and start posting. So there's no excuses. You need this in your life if you want to get ahead and be seen by other people. So when I talk about Instagram or any kind of artistic publishing work, I always talk about the two who's, the two what's, and the one why. And these are really one of the most important questions that you have to ask yourself and answer them before you start posting or even during your art practice as it changes over time. You kind of want to keep asking yourself these questions and keep revising them. So the first is, who are you? And this one is specifically important because it really pertains to you specifically. So who are you as a person and who are you as an artist? You kind of have to know this before you get yourself on this adventure of being a creator. What drives you? What are the things that are different about you that nobody else has? These are really important things to think about. The next one is, who is your target audience? And the reason why this is so important is because as an artist or as a maker of anything, you want to reach your target audience. I'm going to give you an example. Let's say you are a maker of pottery and you make mugs and ceramic bowls, and you're trying to reach a target audience, a male 15-year-old, then you're doing something completely different to what you want to achieve, because a male 15-year-old usually has no disposable income. They're also not really interested in getting pottery for the home. So what you're more likely trying to do is your target audience is probably 30 to 60 female. So you're trying to really understand your target audience. Whatever you're creating something, you want to make it for your target audience so that more of them keep coming to you and they really engage with your stuff. Because if the target audience is wrong, then it doesn't matter how good your stuff is, it just won't be seen or received very well. Now, what kind of content, product, or service do you offer? You have to kind of understand, what is it exactly that you offer? So I'm going to give myself as an example. I'm an illustrator and my target audience is usually females between 20 to 50 years old, people who are interested in witchcraft and body positivity. And now the kind of product or service that I offer is custom illustrated portraits, custom murals, prints, and stickers. So these are the kind of services that I offer that people are interested in. And those people that are interested in them, they are more likely to buy them because they're already my target audience. So this is kind of how it works. So whatever you do, you want to understand exactly what you're offering to the people, so you're not kind of blindly trying to walk through the world and keep creating stuff that you don't inherently understand. And what is your aesthetic? What kind of colors do you use? What kind of, is it bold and red, or is it delicate, tender, delicate lines with maybe beigey, natural tones? You kind of have to also understand, like, what is the aesthetic that you want to have if you haven't achieved the aesthetic goals yet. And then one of the absolutely most important things is why. Why do you do what you do? You want to be passionate about the things you do, but also let people understand that the reason why you're doing them is is coming from the inside. So the reason why I do what I do, so let's say I do healing art workshops, and the reason why I do it is, as I explain to people, is because I personally have struggled with body image issues. So now I'm trying to bring those things up, and I want to offer them to people so that they can also be healed through their artistic practice. So why is really important. Now let's talk a little bit about your Instagram profile. So we're just talking here about those of us who already have an Instagram profile. And if you don't, again, I'm going to remind you, just pause right now and get yourself an Instagram account. So this is an example of my account from a little while ago. This is kind of what you see when you open somebody's account, and this is the first thing that you're introduced to. So one of the really important things is a clear logo, a logo that really shows what your business is all about. So if you're a muralist, you kind of want to have a mural maybe as your logo, or maybe something very specific, something that is really gonna make people remember that this is your business. Now, the next thing is a solid description of your content. So this lets people know what they can expect once they follow you. So you want to entice them. You want to just grab their attention. So here I have healing art workshops, commissions, murals, pins, and prints. I have my shop link, and then the feminist witchcraft self-care. So these things are what people are gonna gravitate toward, process them, and decide whether they're interested or not. And if they are, they will follow you. It's gonna be a very instant reaction. You don't want to advertise yourself as something that you're not, but this really comes down to all the questions that you ask yourself before. There is a Linktree as well, and I really recommend Linktree because Instagram doesn't allow for you to have multiple links in your profile, which is really detrimental to your practice because a lot of the time you will have multiple things you want people to see. So through Linktree, what you can do is you can list a bunch of stuff under your own profile, and the people can kind of pick and choose what they want to see and what they want to do. So here, as you can see, I have my shop. I have an event that's coming up or was. And then you can also buy tickets under the same link. There's a special offer that I have in my store. There's my official website for the portfolio up here in a sequential priority order. So my shop is really my most important thing. But right after that, I kind of want to sell the tickets to my workshops. And then later on, I have my special offers in the store. Now let's talk about your feed. So I want them to be on brand in a sense that it is all cohesive, all makes sense when it's seen together. If your aesthetic is neutral tones and delicate tender lines, you want your feed to really reflect that. If you're like me and you're using a lot of black, red, white, and bold lines and bold messaging, then you want your feed to reflect this. And this is exactly what I'm showing you right now. You want things to make sense. So sometimes I will be posting, see here, there's a lot of pink, a lot of blue, a lot of yellow. So all these things are kind of posted in a series. And those series could be either a thematic or coloristic. Different yet the same in a way that it's all mine. It's all stylistically appropriate. At the same time though, I'm posting different stuff. I have my mural work at the same time as I post a market I was vending at. So you can see my products. Now you can also see my ceramics, which is a little bit different, but also again, very stylistically similar with the same brand colors. And then a shop update, ink painting, which is different from my usual practice, but also belongs to the same family. And my digital work. So within a span of 12 days, you can have varying degrees of what you're posting about and how you're presenting it. But at the same time, you really want it to be cohesive and on brand so that people know that this is yours. This is all yours, belongs to the family of your style or your artistic expression. When it comes to planning your feed, there's a few ways you can do this. But it is really good to plan it at least a couple days ahead, just so that you know how it's going to look like once it's posted. And when somebody opens your feed and your page and your profile, they see something that makes sense. So you can either use a planner app that allows you to schedule and arrange your posts, but I find that a lot of the time, unfortunately, the free versions of them are very limited and usually just cost money. So I personally don't use the planner app, but again, this is totally up to you. It's something that is very useful and will allow you to go further with designing your feed. Or you can organize it yourself. When you organize it yourself, you really have to put in the work. You not only have to plan it a few days ahead, you also have to plan making the work a few days ahead. The way I work is that I usually have multiple things ready before I post anything from a series. So let's say, as you are looking at the screen now, the 3 top images I created as a series a few days before I posted the first one. The things below, what I did is I created 2 posts, the bottom right ones. I created the 2 posts in that color scheme, and then I decided after posting the first one and having the second one waiting to be posted, I created the 3rd one and then created the 4th one. So I always had a little bit of wiggle room and a few days of extra time where I'm not stressed. Everything's planned and everything's just there waiting for me. But I also, every day I also create. Making extra content ahead of time without using any crazy apps. The drafts folder on your Instagram, here on the bottom, these are all my drafts and I can manage them. It's so helpful because I can create these drafts and have them ready to go and not worry about having to think about it every single day. I know that some people say, oh, it will look like you're trying too hard. But I really mean it. Use all your hashtags. There are ways to use the hashtags correctly. First of all, I usually post my hashtags as a comment to my post right after I post it. You don't want to wait to have your hashtags stored. And I store them on my iPhone's notes. The moment I post, I go to my notes, I copy paste it, post it underneath as a comment, and I'm done. Maybe 5 to 10 hashtags that are famous or that have hundreds of thousands of posts. And those are kind of your lucky go-tos. Chance of you getting seen through the really popular hashtags is extremely low. It's kind of like playing roulette. The rest of your hashtags, use hashtags that 2,000 or 3,000 people have posted to, or maybe 10,000, but you really don't want to go into the millions and hundreds of thousands. You want to find your niche through those hashtags, and the likelihood of you being seen is a lot higher, and a lot more people are going to engage with you. Let's talk a little bit about raw images and posting photos of your artwork in general. This is a photo of a backpack that I hand painted and in collaboration with Fjallraven Kanken. This is something that is going to entice your customer to buy your product. Now here is a big no-no. You don't want to post images that are incorrectly cropped, that are not focused. You don't see the context. There's also lots of shadows in this image. No editing has been done, and you just don't see the potential of something that can be sold. For the days when you don't know what to post, or you have absolutely no content because you had a hard night or something happened, you're not in the mood, my best advice here is to make it up. And there will be days like that, and that's totally fine. And don't feel pressured by them, but at the same time, you want to keep your feet going. And the way you want to make it up, so in my case, I didn't have any drawings to post that day, but I was in the studio, I was having coffee in the morning, so I kind of put this scene together on a nice piece of wood with nice lighting to show people that I'm working. This is me in my studio, I'm working. This is what I do. Shows you my iPad, my glasses, meaning I'm doing work, and obviously, and a coffee or a tea, so I'm ready to go. This is today I'm gonna tackle it. So this lets people gain a little bit of an insight into your life, and you didn't waste a day of posting. So this is really great in case you don't have anything. Now, easy edits. Easy edits are important because you don't need any crazy apps, again, in order to edit your photos to look really nice, professional. This is an example of some super easy edits that are on my brand. You want to find filters and edits that work for your brand specifically. But for my brand, I want a lot of like bold, vibrant reds and deep darks. In the Instagram app itself, play with brightness and contrast or explore filters. Filters are really easy. I usually go for the filter Juno. That's my go-to for my black, red, and white images. So this is an example of how you can transform a regular looking image into something warm and inviting and bold and vibrant. You want it to catch the person's eye. This is a photo of me and my cat. If you're an illustrator, this is an idea for you. Take it to the next level, because this not only shows you as a person, this shows you as an illustrator. It shows you within the profession that you're aspiring to be or you are at already. So it really gives people more interest, more things to focus on. And this is really important. Make work that you believe in, because people can pick up on stuff like that. So when you make work that makes sense to you, you will be able to reach your niche audience. And if it comes from the heart, other people who believe in your cause or in the things that you're talking about are going to follow you, and they will be the legitimate people who engage with your things. And that's what you want. You don't want ghost followers. You want people who are real. Because I talk a lot about trauma, I talk about healing through art. 2 examples of a post. So one on the left, I did a little comic, and then on the right hand side is a product that I made, little pins. So I'm really trying to reach my niche audience of people who have maybe gone through hard times in their lives. A lot of them female identifying, are now able to heal through seeing art or making their own art, just like me. So this is kind of what connects us. Instagram stories. I cannot stress enough how important Instagram stories are. It may feel like they're just nothing, that you're just posting whatever, but it really keeps you in the loop of being seen by your followers. If you don't post enough and you don't post daily, you will be forgotten in the algorithm. And it really doesn't make any sense. And I really don't think Instagram should be made this way, but that's how it works. And I want you to beat the algorithm. And the only way you can do this is by posting daily and being seen by people. The more you're being seen, the more you're being seen by more people. It's kind of like a vicious cycle. One of my favorite strategies is to quiz and question. Here's me on vacation with my feet, and I found something on the ground. Am I an artist? Does this mean that I live in a perverse fantasy world with unrealistic expectations? Now, because a lot of artists follow me, they will want to engage with us, and they will instantly want to answer this question. And even though this is not related to my practice, it engages people because people love to be asked questions, and they love answering the questions because it's a very personal thing to do. So this is one of those things where the more people answer this question, the more people see this story, therefore the more people see your profile. So this is kind of how this works. You also want to think about actively engaging your followers. And this is one of the ways as an illustrator I do this. I do, what should I draw? And once a month or once a week, I do this where I ask people what they want to see drawn. And I use the question sticker and the responses roll in. So you will have lots of people telling you what they want to see. I do little speed paintings and I post them, and then I post my final later on. So I document the process through sketches, and then I tease them with the final. People to want to know what's under the sticker, and in order for them to do that, they have to visit my profile. Therefore, they have to click on that post. Therefore, usually they will like it because they already saw the process. So I tease, and then I release as a post itself that can be seen and liked. Tease in stories, released in your feed. Shamelessly styling your stuff is also quite important because this is your profile, your Instagram, so you can do whatever you want. You should do it. because you want to get money. If you have an Etsy store, you have to promote it. Promote it daily in your stories with a link. You want people to see it. Even if they don't click it, they have it in the back of their minds now. Now, work in progress is an interesting concept, as I mentioned before, because people like to see the process of things being made. So here is a sketch. Then I kind of started filling in the shapes. This is me. It's also important to post things that show you as the artist, because detaching yourself from your art a lot of the time makes people detached from your creations. Then I kind of posted later at night, not very good lighting, but I kept posting my stories. And then the final. So you kind of walk people through the process and people get excited. Now, this is at the very end, you can see a better quality photo with lighting that I posted as a post versus a story. When I talk about the human in me, in you, and all of us, you really don't want to be seen as just the artwork. You want to be seen as a creator that creates artwork. So on the left, it's me with my paintings in the gallery, but I wouldn't use that as a post on my Instagram feed. This is not something I find necessary. But so on the right hand side, you can see the final post with good lighting, better crop. On the left hand side, this is something I would post in a story so people who follow me can still see it. This is me painting a mural a couple of years ago. People get curious. People want to see what you're up to and how you're doing it. In stories, I will post my process. So on the left hand side and then in the middle, you can see me with the iPad, the music, the tea, the coffee. You show your human sides, yet you're still the creator. And then sometimes I post funny stories like the one on the right hand side, where you can see me actually doing a little photo shoot with my stuff. Now, just to sum all of this up, in order to grow your following, first of all, you just have to post quality content regularly. Good content posted regularly doesn't mean every day. If you are busy, you work full time, posting regularly might mean once a week or 3 times a week. Whatever it is, you have to stick to your schedule. You have to post those stories daily. Engage with your followers. It's really important to like, comment, to respond to their own stories, because the more you do that, the more human you appear and the more likable you are and the more people want to engage with you. Please use hashtags under every single image you post. Be consistent. Be good. Do good work. Don't give up, because Instagram fame, it really doesn't happen overnight unless you buy followers. And you don't want to do that because those followers are not real. Be patient because this really takes time. And don't give up, because your creative struggle is worth it.
Thank you so much for taking the time to listen to my webinar, and I really hope that it was helpful to you in growing your business and being an artist and selling your work and being seen. Thank you for paying attention, and thank you for having me. If you have any questions, you can always follow me on Instagram, and I will do my very best to answer all of your inquiries.